All right. Good morning. Welcome back. Welcome. How we doing? How are we doing today? Nvidia, man. Oh, Nvidia. What a stock. What a stock. What a stock Nvidia is. Insane. Insane. Missed the action the last 2 days. Welcome back, Deshumby. Welcome back. Yeah. It's probably the best stock in the market, I'd say, right? What's better than Nvidia right now? I don't think anything. I don't think there's anything. Yeah, I was hoping for that 440 pullback too. I don't know if you're getting that. Oh, you're 440. Yeah, no, you're not getting that. You held pre-market highs yesterday. Nvidia knew Amazon. Amazon's never been that good. Has it? Yeah, that's good job, Omar. Sold it at close. Yeah, you're not gonna, Omar. You're never gonna catch it all, man. Can't that mindset. Got to keep that mindset out. Can never catch the whole move. Only way you're gonna be happy with catching the whole move is if you own some shares, man. Own some shares and just let it go. That's it. Own some shares. Believe in the company. That's it, right? You're not gonna be able to do, the full hold on options unless you bought some leaps. Morning, guys. How's everyone doing? Yeah, it's not about the stock price, Bobby. Market cap. That's right. We're here for a piece of the pie, not the whole thing. Absolutely correct. Very true. Whatever you can take out of the pie, you won, right? If you're taking pieces, you're winning. There's 95% of people out there that are not getting any piece. So if you're getting any piece, you're doing the right thing. As long as you ate some pie yesterday, you won, right? You got to keep that mindset. Shop, yeah. All of our 2022 long-term shares that we were yelling and screaming about are absolutely on fire. So you got to love that, right? You got to love that. Shop, Nvidia, Tesla, love it. All right. Well, it's Friday. It is Friday. Welcome back. Interesting day yesterday. Our futures levels that we talked about hit to a T. Man. Crazy. 15,740. The level that we talked about in the live stream hit to a T at close yesterday. The ES 3550 to a T yesterday at close. SPY 450. Wait, what am I saying? Yeah, 450. Yeah, SPY 450, QQQ 380, just all right to those levels we talked about. Crazy move yesterday. Slow, but just relentless. All right, one of those slow sort of upside grinds, just relentless. Excuse me. Some really nice moves on some individual names. Snow, nice trade yesterday. We talked about that one straight from the live stream. That was really nice. A lot of other nice moves, which we will go over in today's stream. Some really interesting setups this morning. Netflix breaking that channel high. Amazon breaking that channel high yesterday. Microsoft breaking some key levels this morning. Banks are strong this morning, helping the SPY higher. So some very crazy things. Coinbase, you guys saw that. I'm sure that was the talk of the town. Coinbase up like 20% yesterday off that XRP news. Wild on coin. If you guys caught a piece of that coin, that was pretty nice. So it's heating up, man. It's heating up out there. And you love to see it. Congrats to everyone that, once again, if you were purchasing shares, focusing on the long term, bet last year, beginning of this year, well done, right? Firm handshakes to you. You did well. You did well. You purchased. You believed in the long-term vision while everyone was yelling and screaming about the market going to zero. So well done. Very interesting stuff. We're about 5% off all-time highs, which is crazy to even think about. So just little morning. I don't want to call it philosophy, but this is very, very similar to what always happens, right? You get those big downside moves. You get the panic, the unwillingness for people to purchase, and then before you know it, things are looking better. Things feel better, right? It's like the feeling on the market just sort of starts to feel better. Magically, everything's okay, right? This happens so much on the market, and the way to take advantage of this, at least what I've learned, is to purchase shares, invest in good companies, and let them sit. Time in the market instead of timing the market. So, been great. Obviously, every day is different. We have to continue to stay on our toes, right? We can't get complacent. The minute you get complacent in the market because you think everything's just going to keep going up, that's when you get smacked. So, we got to stay on our toes. We got to stay liquid, got to stay fluid. Things can still pull back. There could be aggressive pullbacks in the market. It's totally possible. But our job is to, stay on our toes, stay liquid, just continue to watch the market on a daily basis, and just take advantage of what it gives us, right? Right now, it's giving us upside. So let's get started. Welcome back. Thank you guys again for being here. Hope you guys have had a good week. It's Friday. Let's close the week strong. That's what we like to do. Last Friday, I took a red trade. So today, I want to make sure that does not happen again. I don't want to end the week red. So that is my goal today. I'm going to do everything possible to make that not happen, right? So today I'm scaling down. I might consider just trading the market ETFs, the market, QQQ SPY. The reason I lost last week is I took some trades on individual stocks that did not move with the market. So that is a consideration of mine today. Just look for a setup on the Qs on the SPY and get the hell out of here and enjoy the weekend. So here we go. Today is the 14th, July 14th, Friday. Earnings, economic calendar. You don't really have much on the economic. We'll pull it up and look at what we have next week. Earnings calendar for next week. I'm thinking it gets busy. I think Tesla reports next week. I don't know if I have a earnings calendar for next week yet, but today, import price index at 8:30. I don't think that's much of anything to worry about. And then 10 o'clock consumer sentiment. So we will see if there's anything at 10 o'clock today. But 8:30, 10 o'clock, those are your two economic data events today. Our next week, Monday, not much. Tuesday, retail sales. Wednesday, housing starts. Thursday, jobless claims. And Friday, not much. So pretty silent on the economic side next week as well. Let me see if we have a calendar for next week. I don't believe I do. There is some. We do have the banks, right? The banks reported some earnings this morning. So you had JP. Did you have JP Morgan this morning? Let me pull that up. Yeah, JP Morgan this morning, United Health Group, UNH, Citibank, Wells Fargo. So you're starting to get some of those banks reporting earnings. And like we said, this is when you start to see the earning. This is when earnings calendars, earnings season's right around the corner when you get those banks coming in. So you had some banks report earnings today. That is definitely helping the SPY, right? You can see that ES is outperforming the NASDAQ this morning, and that is because of the bank's earnings, right? That bank earnings is helping the SPY be a little bit stronger than the NASDAQ this morning, okay? So that's our first thing to note. A little bit of SPY strength versus NASDAQ because of those bank earnings this morning. Tesla flags, I am very interested in Tesla into next week. You do have earnings, so I'm a little bit concerned on that. But I like what Tesla's doing. I'll show you guys the setup there. Netflix channel high. Netflix is breaking above that channel high this morning. This could be a very interesting trade. This is definitely one of my top watches today. Netflix breaking that channel high. Meta, a little bit weak yesterday, right? We talked about this one in the morning. We talked about this one on the live stream yesterday. Does Meta have the strength to break that gap fill level up there at around 317? It did not. It got stuck under it and really didn't participate in the upside move yesterday on the NASDAQ. So interesting there, something to monitor. Microsoft 343, big breakout today. Bank strength, Coin 100, Amazon retest. I'm going to go through those quickly because we have a lot to talk about today. We got a lot of different stuff, a lot of things moving. Snow looks pretty nice still. A lot of small caps are moving. So a lot of stuff going on. Let's just jump right into it. Why not? So yesterday, we talked about this 15,740 level on the NASDAQ, right? This was our supply. We went to the daily chart. We talked about this double top, right? Back here. If you guys were here yesterday, you should remember this. We talked about this 15,740 supply on the NASDAQ right here. Right here, we have a rejection. Right here, we have a rejection at 15,740. That was our NASDAQ supply. Now, you can see yesterday, we moved higher right into it. I mean, look at this. It is literally on the dot. 15,740 rejection end of day. 15,740 rejection here. This makes your life quite easy today, right? Why do I say that? This makes your life easy because, hold on, I'm going to change this real quick. This makes your life quite easy because you are not going to long tech if the NASDAQ is below 15,740, right? That is pretty self-explanatory. If the NASDAQ is under 15,740 today, you need to be careful of going long after yesterday's upside move. That is your supply rejection. That is very clearly here this morning. If the NASDAQ is able to do a little dance like this, and if we start to see this thing hold, that is going to rally you up again, probably to see, we're probably going to see another strong day if you can turn that 15,740 and 15,740 supply rejection yesterday into support. Very, very, if you can just come into today and really use the futures levels to guide your decisions, I think this could be a pretty easy day, right? Because as long as NASDAQ is not above this 740, if we are stuck under this, I would be very cautious of taking longs into this rejection point. If you can get above it, right, that could give you that confirmation that we could look along again and we can get some NASDAQ strength. If I see something very clean form here, right, and if I see something very clean form above 380 on the Qs, that might just be the trade I take today, right? If I just see a little Q380 break and retest, if I see something like this today, and I start to see Qs hold 380, I might just take some Q calls here, and that might just be the trade that I take, the one and done, and get the hell out of here, right? That might just be the easiest trade today, the cleanest trade. I will also be open to that QQQ 380 supply rejection play, right? Either way. So levels make a lot of sense this morning. 15,740, that's your big supply above. It's very apparent. You can clearly see it yesterday. That is not just a short-term level. If we go to the daily chart, you can clearly see where this comes from. I'm going to zoom back out. I'm going to go to the daily chart, right? It's not just a short-term level here. This comes all the way back to February of 2022 and March of 2022. Double top back in last year at 15,740, and you can see how it was respected on the intraday yesterday. So that's my first watch today. That's my if-then statement. If NASDAQ below 15,740, then no longs. If NASDAQ above 15,740, then that's confirmation for longs. To the downside, looks like you're holding this little 680 area this morning in the pre-market. That's your little pre-market low there. That would probably be where you need to break before you can confidently say we could give back some of yesterday's move, right? You're going to want to see us break this pre-market low around this 15,680 level. If we look at this chart, right, if you break below that pre-market low, you might be able to catch some downside there. You could possibly see it back into this 620, little double top from yesterday morning, and then maybe you just chart out this previous day high here. That would be a pretty aggressive pullback. I'm not sure you want to target that whole move. But if you do break that pre-market low, right, you probably could catch a few points into that 15,620. So I'm going to zoom in here on the 5-minute chart, sort of give you an idea of what I'm looking at here. You have this double top from intraday yesterday. You have this pretty much straight upside here. And I think, the downside play could be, if you reject pre-market lows, you might be able to fade that back into this 620 level, right? That would be, for the fib boys, if we take that from, let's just take that from open, that would be about a 61.8 retracement from open to close yesterday, or open to the high yesterday. Your retracement would be around 61.8 at this 15,620. So there's definitely retracements possible. One thing I wanted to point out, I'm going to put on the daily 20, right? Remember we talked about that daily 20? When you start to deviate from that daily 20, right, you got to be cautious of continuing to chase the upside, right? You got to be cautious, right? You can see every time we deviate from that 20, it doesn't mean it comes back right away, right? This one ran for 5-6 days, but we always do retrace towards that 20 SMA on the daily. So you are extended, all right? You're extended now. So we're obviously going to get a retracement of that 20, but is it today? I'm not quite sure yet. So 15-minute chart, NASDAQ futures, right? Pretty easy game plan. If we're above this 680, I would be careful on the short side. If you're below this 740, I'd be careful on the long side. You got yourself a little channel this morning. Wait for that channel break, right? Just wait for that channel break. If you get that channel break today, all right, there could be some nice opportunities, some nice price action. All right? Same thing on the QQQ, right? No different. You got the nice little channel here this morning, 378.80 to around 380, right? You can see that right there. Nice little channel there. Wait for one of these breaks, right? Either a 380 break and retest or a break and retest of the pre-market lows, right? Very nice. Very clean channel there so far this morning in the pre-market. Yeah. And I think if you do catch that downside move, if that downside is the move we get today, this is your Q8. This is your Q's target right here, 377. Right, that's your Q's target. Little pullback to that little double top from yesterday. All right, I like it. Right, I like it. This makes a lot of sense to me. 380, 378, 378.80 area. Wait to see one of these breaks. Right, don't get chopped up in here. Wait for one of these channels to break on the Qs. Wait for this channel to break on the NASDAQ. If we just have an inside day, right, after a big day, which is possible, it is possible for us to see an inside day after a very large day, right? If we just do this today, not going to be your best trading opportunity. It's a Friday. Start it early. Start the weekend early. Get out of here, right? That's sort of the mindset. All right. ES, beautiful hold to that 4,500 yesterday, or I'm sorry, back on Wednesday, led to the upside yesterday. We're into that 4,550. We're right at that 4,550. If I zoom out here, let's go to the 4,550, right? This was the exact level we talked about yesterday on this live stream. I'm going to delete the SMAs because they sort of make it messy over there. So if we zoom in here, right? I know this is a little bit hard to read because of sort of the messiness that's been going on. But you guys can see the 550 level was this rejection, and this support back in February, March, and April of 2022. That's 4,550. If we go over, that is right where we're at, right? So 45.50 is our level to watch. Do we hold it? Do we reject it, right? And you can see yesterday we rejected it. We rejected right at that 45.50, and that was really our high of day after an extended move into close. Today, we're pushing right back into it. So, how do you look at this? In my eyes, what you're looking for is a break and hold above 45.50 or, right, a break below, I'd say this little pre-market low at 45.35, right? That's your little channel this morning. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller, 45.48. So you're looking to see, right? Let me go to the 5-minute. I'm actually going to pop this up into the high of yesterday, 45.51. There you go. All right. That is your, all right, that is your, definitely about the spaz. What happened? That is your rejection right there. Boom. Boom. Do we hold it? Do we get above? Do we hold above? Do we retest? Do we have a nice hold above? Or do we reject there, right? That's the question you're answering today. That's what you're going to wait for the price action to show you. Do you hold above yesterday's highs? And if you do, you look for that upside continuation. If you reject yesterday's highs, be careful on the longs and look for the demand to step in around this 45.35, 45.34 area, right? There's your channel on the ES. Look to see if you hold above yesterday's highs. Same exact thing as the NASDAQ. Yesterday's highs on the SPY was around 450.37. I like just using the 450, right? Because that's really your psych level there. You could just maybe extend this to, this zone here. Maybe you keep it like this today, 450, and then into yesterday's highs is like that zone you want to watch. You want to watch 450 into yesterday's highs. That's your SPY zone there. If you hold, right, if you hold above yesterday's highs intraday today, that is going to, all right, give you that confirmation. If you can have a really solid hold here above yesterday's highs, that would be the confirmation you look for. Now, a hold above yesterday's highs is not just a 1-minute candle bounce off that level, right? This is a 30-minute, 15-minute consolidation above previous day highs, a nice solid formation above it, maybe a bull flag above it, something that's very confirming, not just a 1-minute bounce, right? Just because we're doing this right now in the pre-market does not mean that we're going to hold this level, right? You need to see some lengthy consolidation, some real acceptance above that level before I would say you go for it. But that would be the level I watch. Previous day highs, look to see if you hold above it on the SPY. That would be your confirmation for further upside. If we go to the daily chart, let's zoom out. You guys can see where this 450 comes from. Right here, right? This 450 comes from this low and these highs here right at this 450 level. Big level, right? Your next high is 454. And then after that, you got these double top rejections at 458. So 454, in my opinion, is your next level to the upside if you are to get that hold above yesterday's highs. You hold above yesterday's highs, your next move is up into that 454, and then obviously this is a little extended for today, but 458, right? 454, 450, and then of course we have to keep this little pre-market low on our chart as well, because technically, right? Technically, I would not be the first person to short the SPY under 450 because you still have this pre-market low, right? I'm not that interested in shorting this uptrending market. I would first want to see pre-market low breaks on everything, right? That's really where I would start to step in on the short side. If I see ES break pre-market low, SPY break pre-market low, QQQ break that pre-market low, and NASDAQ break that pre-market low. Without those pre-market low breaks, shorting this move could be very short-lived, and you could just get stuck in a little, 5-minute pullback that then rips back to the upside, right? That's very similar to what happened yesterday. If you shorted this high yesterday, and you didn't take profits, right? You can see it ripped right back against you. It was still above pre-market low, right? This pullback yesterday never even broke the opening print. So if you're going to start to look to short this move, I would at the very least, at least give yourself that confirmation that we are under pre-market lows, right? At the very least. So watch those pre-market lows, watch those yesterday highs. Those look very clean today, and it looks like it can really guide your decisions on the market today. Mr. Jones, it's still just in like chop land, man. Like I don't like anything here. It might be a little bit stronger today due to the bank strength, but you know, it just look at all these highs. Look at all these highs you have to worry about. All right, this is a sweaty trade because you don't quite know which high is going to be respected, right? So this is a sweaty trade on the Dow. I'm not really fond of, you know, trading the Dow with what I've seen on the chart lately. It is strong, right? You can see, you know, it is definitely maintaining. Is there a breakout potential? Yes. But look at all these highs back here, right? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is like 11 days of price action that's sitting like right at this 34,850. I just don't like the idea of longing into that. I just don't like that. So I would stay away from the Dow here. Maybe wait until you get a real clean break here, a real clean squeeze over these highs, because you're just going to be messing with a lot of days of, you know, chop from back here in January, February. You're starting to move right into it. And if we go to the 4-hour chart, right, we can see there was your 34,880, 34,890 rejection back here from a few weeks ago. That's where you're sitting right there, right? That's where you're sitting right there. You're sitting right at that rejection point on the Dow. So just be cautious of that. Russell, small caps have been heating up, right? Small caps have definitely been heating up. I still think you need to wait for the retest to take this trade. You know, that's just who I am. That's how I trade. I'm not going to chase this breakout. The trade that I would look for is this pullback and the retest, right? That's really the trade that I think you need to wait for on the Russell. You need to wait for that pullback. If you can't have the patience to wait for that pullback, then, you know, best of luck longing into some of these levels and just sort of chasing this breakout. I like to trade those retests. That retest is what I want to see. On the IWM, it's right here. It's right around this 189, 188 level, right? Right here. This breakout point, I want to retest, right? If we can get a retest there, then you can look for that break and retest long. That's very similar, right, to what happened here. Big breakout, you got your retest, right? You broke this high, you broke out, you got your retest, you even got another retest here. What were the best long opportunities, right? Where were the best long opportunities on this stair step, right? This is stair step 1. Stair step 1 here, the best long opportunities were here and here, right? Why were those the best long opportunities? Because it was the retest of previous highs. So the same concepts apply here, right? I know some people can't wait for it because they're impatient. Where will the best long opportunities be on the Russell? It will be here. It will be here. It will be every time that the Russell pulls back to this low. Maybe it just does this for a few weeks, right? But the long opportunities will be at the retest low. They will not be on the chase highs, right? That is a hard thing for some people to really wrap their mind around because they're like, oh my God, the Russell's going to all-time highs. I can't miss this. And then it does this, right? You get stopped out. Then people go long on the retest. And you're like, well, I probably should have waited for a pullback. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but I think it's in your best interest to have that mindset. Okay? Tesla. Man, this thing looks good. This thing looks good. I am very interested. 4-hour bull flag, right? We've talked about this 4-hour bull flag on Tesla. Earnings next week sort of puts a little monkey wrench in the plan there, but a really clean 4-hour bull flag back into the 20 SMA, a nice break and continue out of it, and a really clean, at least so far this morning, a very clean 276 hold as we speak, right? You guys can see that right here. You had these previous highs right here, had this high right here. Look at the little hold and the little flag that is forming this morning. You could sort of draw out like this. Look at this little flag that's forming on Tesla right at the previous highs, right? What level held this morning on Tesla? 276, our 276 level we've been talking about. Why is it holding there? Bam and bam, right? Previous high, break, retest, hold, bull flag. That's the money move right there. That's typically the money move, right? This is typically what I love to see to take entries. This is exactly why I took snow yesterday. Break and retest, previous supply, new demand, bull flag, right? Real interesting. Real interesting. So definitely a watch today. Do I think this could be a swing into next week? I think it's possible, right? Tesla has lagged a little bit. And do I think Tesla can start to squeeze into earnings? Very possible. Risky, right? Risky to think that way. But if you can break over 280 today, right? If you can break over this 280 high, this could be interesting, right? If you can get this bull flag break, if you can get above this 280, this could be a really nice little continuation move. This is something I will be watching today. You do need to get over 280 for this to get moving, right? You got to still be cautious of that 280 above. If I buy options before the IV next, it's going to be increasing now, Chef. The IV is probably likely already increasing. So, yeah, interesting watch today. Tesla 276 hold. Watch out for that 280. Look for this little flag this morning. Earnings next week. Should be an interesting day for Tesla. Definitely going to be eyes on this one. Netflix. Oh, man. It really did this, huh? Oh, these pre-market moves, man, they just go away from you. They just sort of run away from you. Yeah, I really wanted to long Netflix today over this channel high break, and unfortunately, this thing has sort of ran without us. So you guys know we've been watching this channel on Netflix between this 4:30 and 4:48, right? You guys can see right here this previous channel high we've been sort of yelling about every day. Look at this hold this morning at that channel high. Break and hold of channel high. Bam. Yeah, that might be gone, my friends. So I don't know if I can even talk about this anymore. I needed this to sort of stick around this high today and then go long off of it. If it comes back, keep an eye on it, right? If you can get a little pullback, then yeah, let's look for it. Am I going to chase it 10 points off this high, off this channel high? No, right? I'm not going to be long Netflix 10 points off this channel high. Just doesn't make any sense. I have Netflix shares. I get to enjoy the shares, right? I'm not going to chase it with options. So look for that 450 pip pullback. Look for that 447 pullback. That is a very interesting pullback area. If we go to the daily chart, where are we on the daily? What is this high? This high is 458. Oh, shit. 458.48. Oh, boy. All right. Yeah, Chris. All right, so the low is 507. All right, so this little zone right here, you guys have seen stocks fill gaps. That's your gap right there. I'm actually going to make this yellow. That is a big boy gap. That's like your two front teeth right there. That is all a gap. 458.48 is the beginning of it. End of it's 507. Interesting. Interessante, my friends. Yeah, keep an eye on this. Don't lose sight of this. This could be very aggressive. So that is all a gap between 458.50, 48, 507. And Netflix is right at it this morning. So let's watch this one. Let's keep our eyes peeled. Keep an eye on that. Uh, I will say this, right? Let me just say this. Double black diamond, proceed at your own risk. Vaya con Dios. May the odds forever be in your favor when trading Netflix. Yeah, be careful. Netflix is a monster. It's not for the faint of heart. It is not for a newer trader. If you're going to trade Netflix, please understand the aggressiveness of the option premiums, the aggressiveness of the underlying stock moves, the aggressiveness of a 1 minute candle on Netflix. You could get a $4 1 minute candle, right? If you were long Netflix here yesterday, if you were long Netflix at 9:36 yesterday, this thing dropped $10 in 5 minutes. Okay? That is about a 80% loss on short-term expiration contracts. All right? This is something that will happen to you if you commonly trade Netflix. So just please let me be very aware of that. If you are thinking about trading Netflix, you better prepare yourself for something like this. This happens. It's happened to me. It's happened to a lot of people. And that is not manipulation. That is simply the characteristics of Netflix. And I just need to give you a fair warning. Okay? Very, very aggressive stock. All right. Next one, Meta, right? What did we talk about yesterday? We talked about the fact that Meta filled the gap and could see some struggle at that gap, right? And that is pretty much what happened. So you can see here, yeah, imagine you catch that downside. That could be real nice, Join, huh? You can see here, right? Meta did not really have that great of a day yesterday. A little bit of a doji candle, really. Up and down, really nowhere. You sort of went up, you went down, and you closed around the same spot. So that's, be careful of that. That sort of shows me something, that 316.87 is starting to get a little aggressive above. Meta also with a little bit of underperformance this morning, right? You can see right here, a little bit of underperformance, inability to get above this 316 yesterday and to really have any type of continuation. So look to see if this maybe pulls back. Maybe this is just a slow pullback for you into this 309, right? I would still watch this 309 level. This could be a nice little pullback level to maybe see if this wants to try again. That is very possible. If you get below 309 and you see some type of pullback on the NASDAQ, right? If that NASDAQ breaks under pre-market lows today and it starts to weaken, I will be interested in playing this idea on Meta, right? I will be interested to see if this wants to break this 309 and possibly trade back into this maybe 300 level, right? I'm going to monitor this. I talked about this one yesterday. I didn't take the trade because we didn't really get much movement. But the idea is still very valid. The idea that the gap fill is where Meta needs to sort of pull back and slow down from is still very valid here. So be careful longing into this gap fill level, this 317. It looks tough. You can see it was not able to break above yesterday, right? So watch that 309 today. If that market weakens, could be an interesting little flip there. Definitely going to be watching it. Microsoft. So Microsoft, nice breakout this morning, right? Breakout above this supply high of 343, pushing into the 350 supply, right? You can see right here, if we go to the 15-minute, 350 supply, pretty tough this morning. So what are you looking for on an entry, right? What do you need on an entry? It is very, very easy. You either wait for it or you chase it, right? It depends on what kind of trader you want to be. You want to be the one that waits, or do you want to be the one that chases? If you want to be the one that waits, you're waiting for this pullback back into the previous breakout point. You're waiting for the pullback here, the pullback here, the pullback here, right? You're waiting for all these pullbacks, right? You're looking for the market to come back down into that pullback level. You're looking for it to hold that level, and then you're looking to set up a long entry with proper risk to reward off 343, right? That is your trade setup here on Microsoft. You can do that, or, be my guest. You could long it into this double top. Whatever sounds better to you. To me, I am not a long into a double top. I am not a long into a supply high. I am a long on the pullback, on the retest, right? And if we get that, that is where you strike. This is your strike zone down here. If you can get that today or next week, keep an eye out for it. That's your previous high. You got your breakout. Look for that to pull back into 343. Set up that good risk to reward, right? Here's your risk. Here's your reward back into the highs. That's a proper trade, right? That's a proper trade, right? You set up your risk here, right? You're risking maybe back under 343, and your reward is back into that 350 high. That's sort of how you set that up, at least in my eyes, right? So 350 supply high, you can already see it's rejecting a little bit this morning. Be careful of longing it into this, right? Be careful of longing it into this high. If you can get that pullback, that's what I would be looking for. All right, a little bit of bank strength this morning. XLF, let's go to the daily chart on the XLF. Yeah, XLF actually was able to hold this level. I didn't even sort of realize that. You guys can see we've had that level on our chart. Here's the XLF daily. XLF was able to hold above that 3340 level. That was the previous low here, right? Previous high here, right? And you can see it just pulled back and held that level here. So a nice little hold of this 33 level on the XLF. That sort of led to this upside. I could see the XLF back to the channel here, right? That is very possible in my eyes. Let me delete these SMAs because they are irrelevant. The stock, the underlying is sort of moving sideways, right? There's your XLF channel. Yeah, I mean, if you continue to get some bank strength off this earnings, XLF back into this channel high is very valid, right? The only problem here is you're right in the middle of the channel now. So, your risk reward is a little flawed of entering any kind of bank upside here because of the middle of the channel. But that is definitely where I would be targeting. This 36 high, supply. You can see we've had a nice push off the lows. Demand, right? Just sort of very clean channel here. Very, very clean channel here. So if you can see some more bank strength, XLF, keep an eye on that into that 36. JP Morgan. What's these lows? It's that 150. Say it's like that one. Is it above 150? Yeah, so we're above that 150. That's really the major level there. That 150 on JPM, which you are above today. That would probably be your retest level to watch. Let's go 4 hour. Yeah. So I would look to see if JPM, so look at that 150 hold this morning. That's your earnings pop off that. I would say your longs, if you're going to long JPM, I would say look to try to get in as close to that 150 retest. Goldman Sachs, upside off that as well. What's GS been up to? GS, pretty messy here. I would not be a long on GS into 340. That's for sure. Either this 340 to this 344 area. Just be careful of being long GS into this 340. You can clearly see rejections or support, rejection. Just be careful of being long into that 340 today. You're right around this 334 right now. You got a few more points until that supply high, that double top. Just be careful of that double top there. All right. Overall, bank strong this morning. I could see XLF continuation maybe towards that 36. That will help the ES, right? If you see this bank strength continue, that will help the S&P 500 outperform the NASDAQ, all right? If you see that today, if you see the SPY stronger than the NASDAQ, it is likely because you're getting bank strength. Coinbase, I know a lot of people are going to be trying to chase this thing. I know it's going to be the talk of the town, the Wall Street bet. It's going to be the one, right? Coinbase is going to be the one. It's providing some nice moves, so I can't say that it's not a potential trade opportunity here. This 100 retest might be a really nice trade setup. It was yesterday, right? You can see 100 yesterday was a really nice hold. Look how clean that was. Look at that intraday hold at 100 yesterday. Very clean. So I'll look for it. I'll see, can we hold that 100, right? If we can maybe get a pullback to 100, that would really be the only spot from this point forward that I would look to maybe play it off of. But if we're extended past 100, I want to be cautious here. But 100 would be my pullback level, right? That would be my pullback level. If we can get a retest of the $100 psych level and a previous high, that's really where I want to see this. Little bull flag back into 100, right? Get this little pullback here. Start to maintain the 100 level. If you can start to see that, right, that could be a really nice long. If you're going to trade it, right, here's the problem, right? This is the mindset that I would recommend coming into Coinbase with. If you are going to long Coinbase before it pulls back to 100, you have to size appropriately to give it a stop under 100, right? If you size into heavy coin, right, and you stop out $1 lower, there is a very good possibility that you stop out, this goes down maybe $2 more, holds 100, and then rips your face off, right? And then you're going to be very upset that you exited at 103.50 because you were down 20% and you put too much size in the position and you exited because you're trading with your P&L, right? I know we've been there. Trust me. Trust me. So if you are going to long coin here before a 100 retest, you need to size appropriately so that you are not freaking out on a pullback into 100. I would not exit longs on coin if you are above $100, right? This could be a very psych level on coin. It could be a very clean hold. And if you feel like you got to get in before it pulls back, right, make sure you size so that you can hold it into that pullback, right? That would be my only recommendation. It might not give you that pullback. Maybe you scale little by little, right? Maybe take one contract. If it just rips, you're happy with the one. If it continues to pull back, you add another at 100, right? You get into a decent size, but you have to be comfortable on any kind of pullback here towards 100. That's really the main level, right? That's your main level, all right? Amazon, we're also going to look at Google. I am still waiting for this Amazon retest. I think it will come in, right? I know Amazon does not typically just rip and without a pullback. I've seen the rips, but I also have seen the pullback. So I want a pullback to this 130-150, right? I want a pullback here. That is where I want to look long. So if I create an alert, let's go at or below. Let's go 132 so that we're alerted when it starts coming back, right? I want to pull back into this retest level at 130-150. If I get that, that would be my long entry, right? So that's sort of how I'm looking to trade this. Trading is a large percent of patience, right? It's a large percent of patience. If you could stay patient here, wait for that retest, right? That would be your next long. That's what I'd be looking for on Amazon. Before we go over a few more, if we could take 1 second, guys, press that like button. We got about 1,800 people here. I'm really thankful for the growth on the live streams. This is a lot more than we usually have. I'd say about 400 more people than normal for the last 3 trading days. So thank you guys again for being here. I hope you're enjoying the analysis. I hope you're enjoying the live stream. Let's take a little Starbucks break, a little coffee break. I don't know what I'm doing drinking Starbucks the last 2 days, but it worked yesterday, and I figured I'd give it a shot again today. If you guys could take a second, press that like button. I'd very much appreciate that. Helps the channel grow, helps the live streams grow. As soon as I said that, some people left the live stream, so be it. Sayonara. Google. Man, this one's interesting. This one is interesting, right? We talked about this. Did we talk about this on the live stream? Or did I just post it in the Desi TA section? I don't know if I talked about it on the live stream. But here in the Desi TA section, right, if you want to get my charts, you know where to go. Not OnlyFans, but, the correct link. Don't go to that other link. Google, right? We talked about this daily chart yesterday. Look at that daily chart on Google. Nice little flag right into that 116 demand. I said, right, if we can break this, if we see a move over 122 on Google, this may be a massive daily and weekly bull flag here. If NASDAQ stays strong, keep eyes on this setup, right? This is your weekly chart, and this is your daily chart, right? A very interesting flag yesterday, and bam, boom goes the dynamite. is the right word for this. That's your daily. Here's your weekly. Look at this thing. This could be real interesting. I'd keep an eye on this. If you can get over this 126, right? If you can get over this 126, let me go back to the daily. If you can get over that 126 today, I think this could be a continuation move. Yeah, this is very interesting. Very interesting here. I'm going to keep eyes on it. You do have a lot of supply here at 126, so don't think it's just going to rip right through it, right? Don't think it's just going to rip right through it. You do have a lot of supply up here around this 126, 127 area, so be cautious, right? Be cautious. But if it does get that rip through, right, this is a really, and I'm going to use the word, this is a really sexy bull flag. So keep an eye on this one today, right? Keep an eye on this one. All right, guys? All right, so real quick before we head out, futures plan is real easy today, guys. The futures plan is real easy. You are not long if we're under 740. There's no reason to be long anything if you are under 740 on the NASDAQ. You are going to expose yourself to potential supply rejections. If you want to long today, look for that NASDAQ over 15,740. Look for that Qs over 380. Look for that ES over 45.50. Look for that SPY over 550. SPY stronger this morning due to banks. If you're going to play tech, though, you better be watching that NASDAQ QQQ. All right? That's all I got. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Can we get 1,000 likes on the live stream for a beautiful Friday? That would be much appreciated. I appreciate you guys being here as always. As always, I appreciate the support. You know, you guys coming here every morning, about 2,000 people coming here on every morning at 8 a.m., whether it's 8 a.m. Eastern, whether it's 5 a.m. out in California on the West Coast. You know, props to you guys for being here. I hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you guys learn something from it. I'm assuming you do if you're here, so that's good to know. Case, Google, it's preferred shares, like different classes of shares. I would recommend just watching Goog. That's what I do. I don't know. I don't know the difference. I know the difference, but trading differences, I don't even look at Google. I would probably stick to Goog. That's what I do. I have no problems with it. So, all right. Yeah. We got the 1,000. Thank you, guys. Have a fantastic weekend. I will see you guys on Monday. Yeah. I need to get Doc, man. Doc needs to figure out who I am one day. All right, guys. I'll see you on Monday. Peace.